Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be applying the Herculiner spray-on kit. According to Project Farm, this is the best one that he tested out of all of them, except for one brand I think, but this one did the best. So I'll be showing you guys how to apply it, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so here's everything that's included in the box. When you open it, I really like how they included the instructions on the actual box so that you can't really lose it unless you throw the box away, but you won't accidentally throw the instructions away that way. If I'm being honest, I already opened it, but it comes with this gun that you shoot with. I already put on this piece, and then it also comes with the draw tube that goes in here. And on top of that, they give us a sticker, which is awesome. And then this is the box that the gun came in. And just in case you do need to roll it on for some reason, they do include these rollers, which is nice. And then you get the bottle of hardener, which is what you measure with this cup before adding it to your actual Bedliner. And then you mix this up, and then the gun screws right into the bottle, and that's what you spray. So it seems pretty self-explanatory, so let's try it out. So the steps needed to make sure that this stuff actually sticks is making sure the bed is super duper clean. And even according to these instructions, you have to clean it really well. So power wash it, soap it, scrub it down, make sure there's no dirt in here. I went an extra step of adding one layer of primer. You can see just kind of rough. This will just help a lot with having the stuff stick really well. Make sure you clean all up in here. And the next step is taping everything off, and then we will give it a final wipe down with some wax and grease remover, and then we'll be ready to spray. All right, so I masked everything up the way I wanted it. I have the tape running right up on this corner because I want this top part to stay painted, and it'll be getting covered with like the rubber protector anyways. So it'll be completely this side and a little bit down into here. I'll just scuff this up just a tiny bit more just to make sure it actually sticks well. I just have some 600 grit sandpaper right there. And then I just got the side staped up like this, just to protect it. It shouldn't overspray much since the spray is kind of thick. So this should be good enough for what we're doing. So one thing I should add is the gun will come without the fittings, so you'll have to put those on. So it's just a 1/4 inch fitting for an air hose. And then that should be pretty much the only thing that you add besides actually having a compressor and a hose. And one last thing before we spray is it tells you to set pressure between 60 and 90 psi. I saw a video where a guy was spraying, although it wasn't Herculiner, but it was Raptorliner. But he said he set the gun to 47 psi, and he said it gave him a good, almost line X like finish. So I have my compressor set to about 55-60 psi, and that pressure should drop to somewhere around 50-55 psi when I start spraying. And we'll see if that looks good, and we'll either adjust up or down from there. And this gun also does have an adjustment screw right here on the back, which is what we can use to adjust how much pressure actually comes out of here. Obviously there's no gauge, so we can't really tell. So I'll just have to go based off how I think it looks. So per instructions, we fill this up to the fill line, which is 6.5 ounces, and that's enough for 1 can of the actual bed liner. And we shake it hard and fast. Pause. So now this should just be able to scrub right into here. So you never want to smell paint, and you for sure don't want to smell this stuff. So really important to wear at least some sort of respirator. And the plan is, I'm going to spray corners and edges first, most likely one section at a time, either the back, the sides, or the bottom. So I'll spray the corners, and then I'll fill that in just to get as even coverage as possible. This stuff is really messy. As you can see, it kind of has these little granules in there, and it kind of launches them back everywhere, and it's honestly a little bit leaky, but I like the way the back turned out, but just for fun, I turned down the pressure a little bit. It was fully tight, and I released it by maybe about half a turn, maybe closer to 3/4. And I like the way it's looking much better. It's a bit more grainy, which I like. So this bottle's pretty much empty, so I'll get a new one in, and I'm gonna finish this up. Anyway, if you guys enjoy this type of content, check out my channel, give me a follow. If you're curious, this bed is going on this Duramax that I'm rebuilding over here. And I'm always doing some type of rebuild. I'm working on the truck right now. I have a Mustang I'm currently repainting. So if you guys like this type of content or you like car and truck rebuilds, give my channel a follow, drop a like on this video, and let me know if you guys want to see anything else in the future. And I look forward to seeing you guys on future videos. All right, so I just finished spraying, and it is definitely a pretty messy job. I don't know if there's any on my face, but definitely something you want to wear gloves for. It feels like those little pebbles are all over my shirt, although they do brush off, so it's not bad. Definitely probably want to be wearing slightly more protective clothing than what I'm wearing, but otherwise that wasn't too bad. I was expecting, I've never sprayed Bedliner before, and I was expecting it to be a little bit more like paint, but it really shoots really gloopy and there's not as much overspray. Let me show you guys that. Kind of see even on the paper, it just kind of, wherever you point it, it's really where it sticks, but there isn't really much overspray. And you can see on here too, there's just some nice speckles, but I'm honestly not worried about the paint whatsoever. But yeah, so here are my initial thoughts on spraying. So the 4 bottles that it came with seemed like it just barely covered this, and I didn't even spray the tailgate, but that's because mine is already covered since we are doing a bed replacement on the Duramax. There's the old one. But I don't know, it seems like it's a little different in certain areas. I don't know if you can tell on video, but that area in the back, it almost looks like it's a different shade. It's almost a bit more rough kind of a texture, and along with the sides. And I'm not sure, maybe that's just because this is still fresh, and once it dries up it gets to that texture, but I guess we'll see. So other than that, it sprayed pretty easily, besides just being slightly messy. This wasn't that difficult of a job. So there it takes about a day for it to kind of dry enough to where you can kind of use it, but people say a few days at least for heavy duty use. So I'll let it dry for at least a day or two, and I'll come back and I'll show you guys what the dried and finished product looks like. And now the next step after we sprayed is removing all the tape once it kind of tacks up a little bit, and after that it can go ahead and cure. Now that the paint or the tape has been all taken off, let me show you guys a close-up of what that looks like. So we have pretty fresh lines all around. That's what we like to see. And while it's still drying, or while it's still wet, I will say I do like the texture, but I hope it does kind of become a bit more rough once it dries. But here's what the top looks like. I just wanted it like this so that this top part can stay that way, and if anything in the future I can always add more. I actually have a second box of the liner, and here's what this top part looks like. This is still painted, but the top is nice and coated. All right guys, so it's been about a day, and this is the dry and finished result. Let me get you guys a close-up. There you go guys, that's how you do it. My final thoughts on this kit, the spray kit. I'm pretty sure it is a lot stronger. It's more of a professional grade than the roll-on kit, so it's a little bit more expensive. I think it was around $120, $130 for this kit, and I really like it. I think it went on really smoothly. The coat looks very even all throughout. I did notice in some areas the textures may be a little bit different, but overall it looks really good. And yeah, maybe I'll do an update for you guys in a few months or so, see how it's holding up, because I do use my truck, or I will be using it to work. So yeah, thanks for watching. And once again, if you guys stuck around this far, I'd appreciate it if you guys gave me a subscribe. Check out my channel. I do car and truck rebuilds, and see you guys next time.